Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The reviews are coming in thick and fast for Deadpool and Wolverine, so I thought we'd take a look at it. They have changed a lot from yesterday. So yesterday I did the initial social media reactions, but now the sort of reviews are coming out over on websites like Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic. You'll see some headlines which will say Metacritic is very low by comparison to Rotten Tomatoes. Actually not the case. Rotten Tomatoes has two critic scores, the all critics and then the top critics, right? Top critics are actually the same as Metacritic, pretty much. So yeah, I thought we'd take a look at it. It's coming in pretty mixed now. So this isn't to rag on the film. I don't really care about Deadpool and Wolverine, to be honest. I think fill your boots if you're looking forward to it. I don't care enough to be all like, oh, it's gonna be shit. Like I couldn't care less. But I just thought it was interesting because those social media reactions, I think a lot of them were from fans, which is actually, I guess, could bode well for some of you guys that are watching this. I think that could mean that you'll align quite nicely with that. But yeah, I thought it'd make an interesting video. So let's take a look, right? Side note, do hit subscribe if you're new here, folks, and turn those bell notifications on. But you can see here, all critics, 146. Okay, well that's fine. You know, 81%, quite high. Ooh. Now, I'm not saying either is to be trusted, by the way. I'm not saying that at all. I just think it's interesting how it goes down significantly when you're looking at the different metrics. So, 64% for top critics. We'll look at some of those reviews in a minute, because I think it's, yeah, interesting. But Metacritic here actually has a very similar score, which you'll see when I shuffle this over. 54. That's not great. That's not great. That's not great at all. 54. And it's based on 45 critic reviews. Which it's not much more than the Rotten Tomatoes, which was based on 39 reviews. So, yeah, interesting, I guess. Shall we have a look at some of these reviews and see what they're saying? I think we shall. Yeah, not great. So anyway, USA Today. Most of the silliness lands. The stuff that doesn't is enveloped by the total chaos anyway. Quotation forthcoming. IGN, I mean, they love everything, so not really surprised. Deadpool and Wolverine is outrageous, consistently funny, but they only gave it 70. New York Times, Deadpool and Wolverine is a Deadpool movie, which means it's rude and irreverent, funny and disgusting, weird and a little sweet. Reynolds and Jackman are fun to watch, in part because their on-screen characters contrast so violently. LA Times, while it likely will amuse its target audience of geeks and the terminally online, oh wow, brutal. Deadpool and Wolverine is a whole lot of hot air and not much else. Wow. Polygon, it's hard to buy this movie as a love letter to anything but Marvel Studios' corporate conquests. Brutal. Deadpool and Wolverine has made its hero the worst kind of comic book character, one who doesn't stand for anything. That is kind of the point of Deadpool, though. The Irish Times. The creators of Deadpool will argue, lamely in my view, that by admitting the puerile nature of the humour, they inure themselves to criticism in that area. But no such excuses are offered for the onanastic self-regard after 2 hours of this infantile... I mean, that's brutal. Of this infantile mugging, one is left longing for the genuinely upending humour of the Batman TV series from 60 years ago. Awful, just awful. Holy shit. Let's have a look at... Let's just look at all the negative ones, shall we? Just because I think this will be quite comical. The Globe and Mail, Toronto. The screenplay feels like the feverish byproduct of an all-nighter pulled off the very first day back from a writer's strike. Reynolds retains his skittery comic timing, and Jackman, while tonally a little lost here, certainly put his time in with a personal trainer, but there isn't a single shot in Levy's film that flows excitingly into the next one. Could this spell doom for for the movie. I mean, they did... The thing is, they did... I mean, look, you can. I could watch it tonight if I wanted to at midnight. Don't know if I'm going to do that. God, I need some sleep. And they have left the embargo the day before, or technically day of. So maybe it is crap. Maybe they... I don't know. Maybe they didn't have confidence in it. There was a lot of leaks going around which weren't great. Deadpool and Wolverine is every inch a post-peak Marvel movie. A parade of crowd-pleasing pops with practically no substance, guaranteeing $1 billion return and a shelf life of about 5 minutes. Oh, shit. The Telegraph. The film is so myopically gripped by the idea of Marvel as endlessly fascinating corporate soap opera that in 5 years' time you wonder if it will make any sense at all. Oh! Let's have a look at the mixed ones, shall we? The fights are about as sophisticated as watching kids in a playground, and they rely heavily on slow motion, as if that would instantly create tension. Deadpool and Wolverine isn't a particularly good movie. I'm not even sure it's a movie, but it's so determined to beat you down with its incessant irreverence that you might find yourself submitting to it. Ooh. It's not good, is it? Still, cumbersome plotting aside, there's enough gory mayhem and genuine zingers to make Deadpool and Wolverine a fun ride and a packed and up for it cinema. The thing is, right, I didn't like Deadpool 2. I didn't think it was particularly great. So, if this is anything like Deadpool 2, which it's starting to sound like it might be a little bit, I don't think I'll have a good time with it. Yes, the story of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has long been more compelling than any of the stories told in the MCU. And in the process of reconciling those two stories as only Marvel Jesus could, Deadpool makes a very persuasive case that this should be the last superhero movie ever made. Oh, it won't be. Wow, it already isn't. The best we can probably hope for is that Deadpool 4 is seemingly willing to die for all the sins that its genre will commit. Holy shit. Some people are really, really harsh on this. Slash film. There's plenty of room for silly stuff to momentarily distract us from the nightmares of the real world. But is it really so much to ask for? Just a little bit more? Must we continually be served flavourless gruel and pretend it's nourishing? Deadpool and Wolverine will probably break box office records. Wow. The MCU will continue onward, and Deadpool and Wolverine just might revitalise it in the eyes of fans. But it shouldn't be unreasonable to ask for something better. But you know what? I think people have been asking for something better, and if this doesn't give them that, I don't think it's going to do great numbers then. I think it will cross $1 billion for sure, but is that good for this movie? We don't know. We don't know how much it costs, so I don't know. You'd think Deadpool and Wolverine should be much more than that. I laughed almost as often as I cringed from its obnoxiousness, and can't dispute that a vast audience will delight in every moment. Even if they spend much of the running time sticking blades through each other's handily regenerating flesh. Yeah, this sounds a bit like just cameo porn, isn't it? Hugh Jackman demonstrates again what a fine Wolverine he is, but this comic book pairing ultimately underwhelms, resulting in some touching moments and some anarchic humour in a picture otherwise dragged down by convoluted multiverse logistics and drab fan service. And people are sick of the multiverse. So. Shaun Levy's Deadpool and Wolverine is a mixed bag. Definitely not unendurable, and even boasting a couple of nuggets of misty-eyed nostalgia that aren't instantly undercut by playground irony. But for the most part, it does boast the hit-and-miss qualities of Polytechnic sketch comedy. By the way, like I'm not saying believe any of this stuff. I just think it's interesting to take a look, because those social media reactions were really positive. So now you get this stuff, you're like, oof, wow, okay then. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I will go and watch it at midnight tonight, if there's space. Who knows? I'll give you my review when I've watched it. See what I think. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.